All right, so we'll call the Butler Township Board of Trustees Tuesday, December 6, 2022 meeting to order at 6 p.m. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. We have the regular meeting minutes of November 1st, 2022, and the budget workshop meeting minutes of November 29th, 2022. Are there any questions or comments on them?
No questions or comments here.
Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of November 1st, 2022, and the budget workshop meeting minutes of November 29th, 2022.
I'll second.
Yes.
Yes. All right, moving on to item number 4, public comments. If anyone would like to address the board, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Good evening, Mr. Oakes.
Oh, I saw the green light and I thought that meant go. It's like a green traffic signal. Richard Oakes, 1397 Jackson Road. Erica sent me kind enough to send me the agenda, and looking at the resolution you're going to be moving on tonight for 22-50 on Miller Lane. I guess that's the right number. Just wanted to ask, because after this I guess I won't have any opportunity to comment. Originally there was proposed to have raised medians out there, which would result in circulation problems. And in looking at PDF page 31 of 51 or whatever it was, I see green blobs out there. Is that all intended to be grass and paint, or is there still intention to put raised medians?
No, that drawing or that exhibit that's in there actually needs to be, I told him after we got it, it needs to be pulled out, but it's to show the outline, the scope of the extent of the work. So like on Benchwood and Miller, where the extent of the work is, but it was from the former proposal with the medians in it. So okay. It was an old conceptual drawing, but yeah, the medians have been removed entirely.
Okay, because I know that was a big concern for the owners and the land users there and stuff like that. The other thing that I don't want to get myself in some sort of crossfire situation here, but I'm hoping that there will be further investigation of whether to put a roundabout in or not to put a roundabout in, because roundabouts do not generate gaps in traffic, and depending upon the approach volumes, especially the left turns, coming, for example, southbound on Little York, let me rephrase that, coming from Little York southbound on Miller Lane to make the left turn into what I'll call the sushi place. I don't know if it's still there or not. If you don't have much traffic making that left turn movement, then there is going to be virtually no traffic to interrupt northbound through traffic going from Benchwood up to Little York. Therefore, it'll be difficult for anybody to get out from the east side of the sushi place or the boat or the boot factory store, whatever, on the other side there. And if the northbound traffic gets to a certain point, those people could be sitting there a long time. And the other thing is, you all know what I do. There is no such thing as a warrant as there is for a four-way stop or a traffic signal, all the machinations you have to go through on the traffic signal stuff for a roundabout. And I would urge you to seriously make sure that data is collected that really justifies the expenditure of the funds for what a roundabout typically requires, because it's kind of under the category, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and some things like that. Because if it doesn't warrant a four-way stop, I question whether you should even be thinking about a roundabout. I think that was all I wanted to say tonight. Eric and I have talked about speed limit stuff, and I'm going to be pursuing a little more of that for informational purposes to help you guys. Okay? Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the board?
Doug Fink, 1352 Jackson Road. I got a text yesterday from Richard, said you guys are going to be talking about the speed limit on Jackson Road, and apparently that's not going to happen tonight. My question, more of a question than anything else, how does the jurisdiction between Butler Township and the City of Union, when it comes to traffic and or anything else that's going on that road, how does that work?
So because they are concurrent roadways, we both have jurisdiction in the areas where they connect up to each other, okay? We would not enforce so much on their roadway, and they could not enforce on our roadway either. But we would work together if we had, as we do now with some of the other concurrent roadways, to make sure that that it is dealt with and enforced equally. The biggest problem that we're going to have to deal with is once we get a determination from the state on the direction that we want to go as far as the speed limits, so that it's across the board and that it doesn't, we're not just dealing with one small section of roadway, which is in the township, but we're dealing with the whole roadway all the way down through there, because what happens at one end affects the other end. And that's what we want to ensure. We want to make sure before we go and start to move forward and make more decisions with the state of Ohio. And so we're waiting for some feedback from the state.
Okay, so someone's speeding across the front of my house. Who do I call, Union or Butler?
Well, you can call us. You can call us. If you have speed issues in front of your house, the roadway there should be Butler Township.
So a little bit farther down the road, then it changes over to Union.
But if we follow them from, if they're speeding in front of your house and we're at the clock, we can make the stop at the city.
Well, I'm thinking that the residents along Jackson Road should be made aware exactly what's going on when it comes to that. Some kind of literature or something be sent out, at the minimum a letter, telling everybody along that road, you know, because 90% of the time, if there's police presence out there, it's Union, it's the City of Union. I hardly ever see anybody from Butler Township out there, myself.
We're out there. I can provide you documentation that shows that we're up and down the roadway all the time.
Okay, well, Chief, I hate to dispute it, but I don't see it as much as I see the Union guys.
I understand that. That's
I mean, I'm not outside all the time either.
one of the reasons is because Union has a lot of issues over at P&G. So
Right,
you go
right.
through there in order to go to P&G in order to
Right.
address their issues that they have there.
Right.
So
Well, it'd be nice if the residents along Jackson Road knew exactly who to call and find out, you know, exactly what's going on there, because it's pretty much a gray area.
nothing's changed as far as who they call. They still call us, same as they always have.
Okay, okay.
So, nothing's changed
All right.
as far as that goes.
I was wondering, because about a month ago, there was a dump truck coming out of the construction site. He was coming out of there about 6 times a day at least, and I know he was going 60 miles an hour, and he was in the biggest dump truck I ever seen. And if he hit something, it'd have been over.
Well, once again, as we've told everybody that has come to meetings, is that when you see those issues, you call us, let us know. We'll make sure that we are addressing those particular vehicles.
Okay, all righty. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the board? Okay, seeing none. We'll move on to item 5, the administrator's recommendations. We'll begin with resolution number 22-46.
Okay, a resolution authorizing transfers and advances in the police district, fire district, and road district funds as appropriated for fiscal year 2022. These obviously were approved as part of the budget and are typical transfers from the general fund, and just wanted to get them finalized before the end of the year. That's $650,000 to the police district, $75,000 to the road district, and $250,000 from the fire fund to the fire department's capital reserve fund.
All right, any questions, Mr. Jackson?
No questions on my end.
All right. Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve resolution number 22-46, a resolution authorizing transfers and advances in the police district, fire district, and road district funds as appropriated for fiscal year 2022.
I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, resolution number 22-47, a resolution authorizing the fire department to increase full-time staffing from 19 to 20 full-time positions. This was actually discussed during our 2022 and 2023 budget process, and finally getting it across the finish line.
Do you have any questions, Mr. Jackson?
No questions on my end.
All right, I have none. I'm happy to see this is happening. And do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve resolution number 22-47, a resolution authorizing the fire department to increase full-time staffing from 19 to 20 full-time positions.
I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 22-48, a resolution authorizing the service department director to purchase materials from Gabion Supply for necessary repairs on Meeker Road. The total amount is $6,025.40 and will be used to provide support for Meeker Road until we can do permanent improvements down the road.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was just reading this.
No questions on my end
Apologies.
either.
Okay, I don't have any either. I had to read this a couple times. Okay, do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve resolution number 22-48, a resolution authorizing the service department director to purchase materials from Gabion Supply for necessary repairs on Meeker Road.
I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 22-49, a resolution authorizing the service director to enter into an agreement with Reliable Construction Services for fuel pump spill bucket replacements in a for a total cost of $5,483.95. And this was a recommendation from our EPA inspections.
All right, any comments?
No comments?
Me neither. Do you want to make a motion?
I would love to make a motion. I make a motion to approve resolution number 22-49, a resolution authorizing the service department director to enter into an agreement with Reliable Construction Services for fuel pump spill bucket replacements.
I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 22-50, a resolution authorizing the execution of a project management and financing agreement with Montgomery County Transportation Improvement District for the Benchwood Station Improvement Project. And this entails closing out the previous Miller Lane improvement project and opening up the new project that we have been discussing in several workshops, and moving forward with improvements along Miller Lane and Benchwood Road.
All right, any further questions, comments?
No further questions. Just want to say that I'm grateful to see the project moving along, that we were able to come to some good agreements and make some things work for our community, and happy to be able to see us take this on in 2023.
Thank you for your comments. All right, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve resolution number 22-50, a resolution authorizing the execution of a project management and financing agreement with Montgomery County Transportation Improvement District for the Benchwood Station Improvement Project.
I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 22-51, a resolution authorizing the Butler Township Police Department to make arrests on interstate highways pursuant to ORC sections 4513.35 and 4513.39. This is after House Bill number 206 was passed in September, which allows townships with a population between 5,000 and 50,000 to enforce traffic offenses on interstate highways with the approval of the township trustees.
Any comments?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion to approve resolution number 22-51, a resolution authorizing the Butler Township Police Department to make arrests on interstate highways pursuant to ORC sections 4513.35 and 4513.39.
I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next, a resolution number 2152, a resolution approving the temporary appropriations, revenue budget, and certificate of the total amount from all sources available for expenditure and balances for Butler Township during fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023. As you all know, we went through our budget process over the last couple weeks with the Budget Commission workshop and their recommendations, and then the Trustees workshop last week. And the total appropriations are just over $14 million, with our total revenue just over $13 million for 2023.
Any further comment?
The only comment that I would make is just grateful for all of our employees and different ones making all of the efforts and work towards this, and I think that everything looked really great at our last meeting.
Yes, and I appreciated that, all the communication, all the discussions that we had, greatly appreciated by the department heads, and that you are always keeping the best interests of the tax dollars in mind. So thank you for all your hard work on that. Appreciate it. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve resolution number 21-52, a resolution approving the temporary appropriations, revenue budget, and certificate of the total amount from all sources available for expenditure and balances for Butler Township during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023.
I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and next, a motion to approve the liquor permit transfer request and waive a hearing for 11419 North Dixie Drive, Spirit Tavern LLC. Police chief had no issues and is requesting that we waive the hearing.
Okay. Any comments?
None.
All right. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the liquor permit transfer request and waive a hearing for 11419 North Dixie Drive, Spirit Tavern LLC.
I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I also have an additional resolution to add to the agenda for this evening, Resolution 22-53, a resolution finding it necessary to authorize fund adjustments and amend appropriations for funds related to the FEMA grant from the Memorial Day tornadoes. We are still receiving funds in 2022 from that grant process. We still have a little bit more to receive, but this would finalize any fund adjustments that are needed for paying back the police department, the fire department, and the service department, as well as the general fund, for time, labor, equipment, and different things that were spent during the tornadoes.
Questions, comments?
None.
All right. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 22-53, a resolution finding it necessary to authorize fund adjustments and amend appropriations for funds related to the FEMA grant from the Memorial Day tornadoes.
I second the motion.
Yes.
Yes. All right, that brings us to item 6, informal business. Chief Porter, would you like to begin?
Yes, I just wanted to let the trustees know that this past Saturday, we did Christmas with Cops, sponsored by Walmart, who was gracious enough to provide some food and hot chocolate, coffee in the morning for families and the kids. We were able to support just about 20 kids who were there, and with the help of City of Area Police Department, along with Butler Township Police Department, and everything just went very smoothly. Very, very cool.
Excellent. Thank you for that. I appreciate that you do that every year. All right. Chief Alick.
Just thanks for the extra full-time position. People will be very happy tomorrow. We've had that actually in the budget the last couple of years, but we've been able to survive with the part-time staff. So this will help all three shifts across the board. So I appreciate that. Thanks.
Tell him we said Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Burnett.
We hope to have Baker Road, the repairs down there, wrapped up in the next couple of weeks. We will be interrupting traffic flow down there quite a bit. It is very narrow, so John, feel free to have the police officers drive by quite a bit. But,
Safety
yeah,
first.
So anyway, basically what we're doing is losing a little bit of the shoulder of the roadway
build that back up with some Davion baskets. Everybody keep on in trouble.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Vogel?
Just a reminder to everybody, the Jingle Mingle is next Tuesday for the Vandalia Butler Chamber of Commerce is hosting that at the Hollywood Casino. So many of us will be attending that. And then also just thanks, Dan, to the fire department for all the hard work on Friday.
Yes.
With the incident on the highway. I know they've spent a lot of hours out there. So that is all I have.
All right. Thank you. Fiscal Officer Brush.
Thank you.
No more business? Okay. Trustee Jackson.
All right, a few things. First thing that I want to say is that it has been a wonderful year, and here I am in the last month of my first year in office, and what a wonderful year this has been. Lots of neat experiences and also some hard things that we've had to work through together. I look even just at the budget process that we went through and hearing from all the department heads and getting my hands on a lot of the inner workings of the township. It has been a joy, and also I'm highly respecting of all the work that each one of you as department heads have put into all that is happening to run this entity. We are very proud of you. Thank you for all that you have done. The second thing that I want to say is that I absolutely love all of these Christmas lights that are surrounding us right now on the outside of the building. What a neat tradition that has been, and it's really a joy. I love the way that the firehouse leads the way in Christmas spirit in Butler Township, so that is wonderful. The third thing that I want to bring up, and this is kind of a question as well, we received that email from a daughter of residents that live on the corner of Deerfield and Brantford. Was thinking about their situation, and then also if we could just discuss even, maybe with elected officials, whether that should be something that maybe we would take on as a personal thing that we would do just as representatives, where we would personally, put forward some kind of, I don't know, Christmas gift or some kind of, hello or something along those lines because of what Fred has gone through, or if there would be, something that we could do on the township side as like some kind of a, an award for, what they've been going through. And Fred's a great guy, and they're really sweet folks. So I did not know that he had been really sick this year, but I did drive by just last night and saw the Christmas lights up. So it was very sweet, and
We did too.
great to hear that. So I guess my question is, are there any thoughts right off the top of anybody's head of how we could respond to that?
Yeah, we actually, we were talking about doing some social media posts, and that could start it. And then if anybody else, we can say, send in your photos, and we can share them through the township's website or Facebook and Instagram and all that.
So that's kind of an official, something that we could do there.
Right, and if it's a slow go, then we can snap pictures and
Make something happen.
we can just,
Yeah.
get the momentum going.
Some recognition there, at least, I think would be
So
cute.
we can start small and then grow maybe next year.
Yeah. Well, and I think, it's interesting because that's the one that we're hearing about, obviously, right? In most scenarios, you're not going to be hearing about those different types of circumstances.
Yeah.
But when we do hear it, it's interesting. Just, I want us to be able to respond in some way. So, all right. Well, I'll let you coordinate on what that looks like for us, and maybe we can even talk about how
And
we
we
might
can
be able
work
to honor them.
together on keeping the momentum
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
Well, I think that anything that we do to generate interest in one another's lives, like this is what Butler Township is about. It's small community, and knowing what's going on in and they were even talking about in the email how blessed they are to have their parents in our community, and I think that that's like, I love that because it's a testament to the fact that we do take care of people, and so how we can continue to honor them through their circumstances. We want to be able to do that. So, all right, well, we'll work on that. Last thing, I wanted to ask, and this is probably a question for Mr. Barnett on Here we were talking a lot about the service department and things that we're working towards for the future. What we want to see the service department be able to do. Obviously we're always trying to balance the small budget and what we're able to do with, what the demand is of top tier, service, and I think that you've done a tremendous job with that. I had a couple residents over the last couple months during like the fall period talking about the leaf pickup thing, but I'm sure this is my first year in office, so I'm sure that has not, this is not the first time that's come up. But I was wondering, if there have been discussions on that, so if you have had different discussions with residents about something along those lines. Obviously, we don't have that equipment, just on hand with our department. But have you had interactions with residents on that level?
Yes, we get several questions a year on leaf pickup. Normally, it would be from new residents moving in that probably moved from somewhere that had that, so they expect it here. Usually, unfortunately, it's by me stopping by and letting them know that they can't put their leaves in the street. So that's usually how we end up having the discussion. Right now, what we have available is basically we bag it as a township, and it goes to the trash. It goes to the landfill, which really we don't really get any complaints about that I know of. And I think that once most residents learn that process, I don't really know that there's much of a problem with that either.
And then we have the ability for anybody to dump at Harris Dodden Seed too.
Yes, that's correct too. So we do have that option as well out there. For us to do that or take that on right now, with the manpower that we have and the lack of equipment, you can definitely do it. Something would have to change though to be able to do that.
Maybe it would be something to include in future prospects of what the service department might look like in the future.
It's definitely something that you could do.
I'm sure there would be a number of people in the Little York, Brantford, road area that would be excited about that prospect and might encourage any kind of levy discussion as well.
For what it's worth, I was here when we started the bag process and then contractors would pick up. And the reality is you have that in common. You're right. A lot of people would love it to be picked up. And there's a lot of people in the world where it's like, I ain't paying the bread brush to have his leaves picked up. You guys need to get out there and work. It is a mixture to think about. Being fair to everybody, and that's why we did that all those years ago, to try to strike a balance between helping people in the flats and being respectful to the people out in the more rural areas.
Yeah, well, when I've lived out, on Kirchner, obviously it's like you just blow your leaves all over the place and you run the mower a few extra times, But when you're in a neighborhood, it doesn't exactly work like that. So.
It's definitely popular in the neighborhoods to be able to take them to the curbside and let a machine and a truck come by and pick them up. That is kind of what most places are doing, especially cities. I don't know how many townships have a leaf pickup, but I'm more than happy to head down that road if that's where you want to go.
Yeah.
Definitely would have to look into adding personnel and equipment for something like that.
Okay. Well, at least something to keep on the table for what the future might look like, and see what we might be able to do. All right, that's all I have.
All right. Do I have a motion to pay the bill?
Did you have anything to add yourself, or?
I do, but I'm going to wait a minute.
I will make a motion to pay the bills then.
All right, I'll second.
Yes?
Yes.
I apologize. I was locked out, but since this is our first official meeting for December, we are sufficiently organized. I don't know why they locked my account out, but I can do anything else.
Nothing else? Because you were still getting in? Okay. Okay. All right, I just want to thank the audience for coming tonight. Richard, thank you Mr. Oakes, thank you for always coming and giving us the information that you have out Northwest. I want our staff here at the township to know that we appreciate them, and we are so proud of their desire to serve our community and make it a place that we all love and are proud to call home. So please wish them all a Merry Christmas. and happy holiday season from us. And I guess we will go in, I'll make a motion to, or I'm sorry, we have, the next item on the agenda is an executive session. The purpose is to conference with legal counsel to discuss matters which are the subject of pending or imminent court action. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session?
I will make a motion to enter into executive session.
All right, I'll second.
Yes.
Yes, and the time is 6:30. And then we will re-adjourn the meeting only for the purpose of, we will come out of executive session for the purpose of adjourning the township meeting.
Right.
Sorry.
We're all there.
I need some more coffee. Coffee, please. We are coming out of executive session at 7:17 p.m. And do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Yes.
Yes. What?
There was no action taken.
Oh, there was no action taken. We just came out of our executive session. We're adjourning the meeting at 7:17. Okay. We are coming out of executive session at 7:17 p.m. And do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Yes.
Yes. What?
There was no action taken.
Oh, there was no action taken. We just came out of our executive session. We're adjourning the meeting at 7:17.